Yeah, this is essentially my Python crash course. This is basically a section within my Udemy courses that required those courses that require Python. So I just felt it would be a good idea to do a crash course, because if I'm going to be building an application in Django and Flask, then and if you don't know Python, then it becomes a bit difficult to follow with the project. My courses are project oriented courses. The idea is that if you take the course, you should be able to go and get a job anywhere in any part of the world. So those courses that requires Python, I've decided to create a crash course on Python. So the idea is, if you take this course, this particular section, it should be able to kind of like put you through all you need to know. I think the most of the things you need to know about Python to allow you follow through building the project and following through the course. That's basically the idea. So I've tried to cover as much as possible. But Python is a very wide topic. So I try to complex everything. We have about 20 lectures in this section. That is a bit quite large, you know. Yeah, but I felt it would be a good idea to kind of like put everything here. If you just take this course, this section of the course, you should be up and going with Python. I tried to put everything together in a compact form. So I covered several topics, as you can see. I covered stuff like environment setup. How do you set up Python on your machine? Working with variables, working with data types. We have 6 here that I covered: numbers, string, boolean value, list and tuples, dictionaries. Then we looked at working with operators, functions, counting and looping. Then we looked at several stuff here, like object-oriented programming with Python, working with files, then the coding style, for Python programs. So these are some of the things I covered. It's pretty much comprehensive, but I explain the concept and show you how to do it practically, so you can easily follow through with the lectures. It's pretty much it's not a Python is not a complex programming language. You can easily pick it up. So basically, for this particular section, I used that's basically the development environment I use: Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio. And you can download the Visual Studio Code using this link. And for Visual Studio, you can go to this link. So that is the development environment I've used for this section, for pretty much for the courses, because that is what I use. So I think that is all. That is basically it. It's a very comprehensive stuff that I did for Python. So yeah, the idea is that you can run through this in a day or two. you know that is the stuff. You can easily run through this in 1 or 2 days, and get going with the main project. So I think that is it. This is basically the lecture on object-oriented programming. Just try to cover the core concept of object-oriented programming. Like, we have encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, composition, polymorphism. So these are the key components, key concepts, in object-oriented programming. Basically, object-oriented programming is a programming paradigm that allows you to kind of like model your real-life object in your software. So if you're working on your software, you're kind of like working with a software version, a software model of your real-life object. Like, if you're a real estate business and you hire a software guy to write a software using object-oriented programming, then in the real estate world, you talk about properties, you talk about leases, you talk about tenants, you talk about contract, in the real world. Then in your software, you should be talking about those things as well. That is what object orientation allows you to do, to be able to write your software in terms of your real life object, like your property, your rent, your leases, your tenant. Those concepts you work with in real life, you'll be working with them, in your software as well. But you'll be working with an abstracted version of your real life object. Now, that's where abstraction comes in. So what is encapsulation? Essentially, encapsulation allows you to, if you are working with object-oriented programming language, then your real-life object will have their classes in your software. And essentially what you want to do, your real-life objects have properties and methods. You know, like if you're building a house, then your house should have properties like the number of rooms, all the attributes of your house, should be reflected in your house class, in your model. So what encapsulation allows you to do is to just to make sure that all the properties and methods that belongs to a class or an object in your software is housed in a place. So you don't want some of your properties or some properties of your objects of your house or your house object or your house class to be in another file. No, that's not how we want to do it. So encapsulation is kind of like a rule that you have to follow to ensure that all the properties that belongs to a class or an object is located inside that class and inside that class, and you can only have access to those properties or to those methods via the class. So you can access those properties by the back route. So that's what encapsulation allows us to do. Encapsulation can also, another word for encapsulation is hiding. You hide those properties that belong to a class within the class, and only give access to those properties via an interface or a public interface you define for that particular object or a class. That's what encapsulation allows you to do. Then basically abstraction. When we build software, we try to abstract real life situations. So we don't want to model exactly the way things happen in the real life. So what abstractions allows us to do is to filter away those details that we don't need, and to gather or to select or to take from the real life situation those concepts, those properties, those characteristics that we want to model in our software. So that's what abstraction is. That is to say, you filter away those things you don't need and only select those things you need to model, those things that are very important you need to model in your software. So that's what abstractions allows you to do. Then inheritance is another important concept that we use in software development. Basically, what in real life we do classification. Like an animal could be a dog or a cat or a human being. All of them inherit properties of an animal. Like for example, a property of an animal is that an animal breathes, an animal eats. So those properties that are common to an animal, what we do in software development is that we create an animal class, and all the subclasses of animal like your dog and your human being will now inherit those properties that are common, that are general to all the whole animals. So that's what inheritance allows you to do. Then we have composition. Basically, composition allows us to kind of like attach other objects within our object. That's what composition is all about. It allows us to give our object the ability to hold other objects in its properties or variable. So basically, in most cases, composition is preferred to inheritance. Then we have polymorphism. Basically, if a subclass is inheriting from a superclass, then polymorphism allows you to kind of like replace your subclass with a superclass. Then at runtime, the computer will decide which version to use. Is it the subclass or the superclass? So that's what polymorphism is. So this is basically a rundown of object-oriented programming core concepts. So if you buy the course, you should be able to get all this. I'm taking my time to make this course very comprehensive. I'm not only doing it for people to buy. I'm doing it for, like, if I want to train my colleagues in the future going forward, I could just give them this course to take. That's why I'm taking time to make it as comprehensive as possible. So I think, thank you very much. I don't want the video to go too far.